What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my mumu link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15. Not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer is very soon, in just 4 days. Anyways, looking at the market, we're seeing a bit of a pullback right over here as Tesla's approaching some key support near the 20 EMA. So we talked about some key levels to watch for as Tesla dips a little bit more and where Tesla could see a potential bounce later on. Now, there's some news coming out about Tesla's supercharging access checklist, right? It started off with Ford. They made the big announcement many years ago. And right now, others out there are going to be able to access the new Ford Pass app. And then with that, they can actually order their adapter. GM also joined the picture. This happened in September of 2024, where they updated their software on their Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC EVs so they could also use their superchargers. Very important news. Hyundai had the same thing going on, not to mention Nissan, Rivian, and Volvo. So one thing that's important is that Volvo made the announcement that they're going to be including free NACS adapters to any customers that buys some of their 2025 models. So that's very important news. But the main thing is that this is going to give Tesla more and more demand for their superchargers. We're going to continue to see this expand. Tesla has to get ready, especially because in 2025, a lot more of these EVs are going to gain access. And then Tesla has to keep up with the higher demand. So we'll see what Tesla tries to do to offset that. On top of this, there is some news right here about how a 40 gigawatt hour annual capacity Tesla megafactory in Shanghai is about to begin production. This is big news. So as you guys know, Tesla has a mega factory in Shanghai that looks like this. It's on track to, produce over 950,000 EVs per year. Absolutely monstrous. And it's on track to also begin operations in the first quarter of 2025 because construction is nearing its completion. So this is at the new mega factory. And not only are they going to be producing a lot of vehicles, but it's going to be expanded so that they can manufacture the mega packs as well. So the mass production of these units is expected to start next year with an output of 10,000 units annually, equaling to about 40 gigawatt hours of energy storage. So a big expansion going on in China right over here. You guys could see how they're going to be working on a mega factory as well. And they're going to expanding it to once again do a lot more, which is going to help them really keep up with energy storage demands. So very, very big news as that business continues to expand. Besides that, there's not anything crazy coming out on the news. I didn't see anything that was too significant. And there's nothing else that's too crazy that's coming out for the rest of the day. Now, for other pieces of news, just know that the market has been trading on a shortened week. So far, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq are all up, but we'll be watching to see if they get some kind of decline. Just to start things off for today and what kind of reaction we get. Besides that, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy on the news, so I'm just going to kind of skip over that part. The last thing is this right over here. If you look at the options chain, at least on SPY, you'll see that we have over 350, almost 360 plus thousand of these calls expiring. I have about 368,000 puts expiring in total with the 596 max pain and 1.02 put to call ratio. So as a market maker, if I was, in this, like I said before, I would probably dip the markets a little bit and cause a lot of chop to hurt people. So just be careful with those options. So as far as Tesla goes, and with that being said, I think that we could be looking for an attempt to test 448. That's going to be our 20 EMA. We have to see if Tesla holds this, or else it could be dipping closer to about the 445 area. If that fails us, we're looking for essentially 442. So I'll be watching to see if those supports hold. So watch them all very carefully and look for a small dip on Tesla for 448 in the mid 440s if we don't end up holding. And then we could attempt a rebound after that if we do get some buyers who step in. So I'll be watching that very, very closely, especially as time goes on. But look for a small dip on Tesla, guys. Expect 448 just to see if that support holds. If not, we could be going down to the mid to low 440s. And if we lose 440, I'm gonna be looking for this imbalance around 435. By the way, so there might be a small dip coming to Tesla. Now, this could just be a cup and handle approaching deliveries, so it might just be a little bit of a dip here before we see some buyers defend it. That's always a possibility, but we need confirmation first to see if Tesla holds support. So just keep that in mind. As far as SPY goes, we're dipping close to the support here. I'm expecting it to kind of shuffle near the 598 area. We need to hold 598, or else we're at risk of coming back down towards, very close to about the 5.9 to 595 flat area. So it could be a bigger dip if 598 fails us. So make sure you watch that support on SPY. We need to bounce off one of those levels. So look for a test of 598, if not 595, and we'll look and see if we get a bounce off one of those levels. For ES, we're looking for a test of 6060. We talked about this yesterday. If that does not hold, we could be dipping closer to about 6025. Then we'll have to see if we get a bounce. So look for a small dip to 6060, if not 6025, and we'll see if buyers defend. For Nvda, we're kind of dipping here. We're going to be looking for a test of 137.8 and then potentially all the way down towards like 136.5. Could be a small dip over here, and we'll have to see if we get some kind of bounce. When you zoom out like this, you guys can see this resembles a left shoulder, a head, and like a right shoulder that could be forming before it tries to rebound. There might be a small dip towards 137.8 or below before we see some kind of move to the upside. For Bitcoin's trading sideways right now. We could be looking for a retest of 95,000 and a bounce and just a lot of sideways price action. We have this imbalance down here to fill, so we'll see if we end up losing that to get back down to 94,000. But overall, we're just going to continue to trade sideways, so don't really expect way too much. For other factors out there, we have NQ. Looking for a small dip right here. It's about 21,856. We got to hold this, or else we could be dipping closer to about the 21,700 area. So make sure you watch those two supports, and we'll see if we get some kind of bounce again. So give that some time. There's this imbalance up here to fill, so it could see a small dip before it tries to rebound. For the QQQ, we could be dipping back down to about 526 to 524. For a small dip before it attempts to rebound. So look for some downside. There's a gap to fill above, so it will attempt to rebound soon. Might dip a little bit before it tries to rebound, but then expect a lot of chop on the QQQ and SPY because of the options chains. For Apple, we were not able to break past this resistance. I did call out the possibility of there being a rising wedge, so just be careful. If we don't get back above 260, this is going to be at risk of coming back down to 257 or below, so just be careful with the Apple. For the IWM Russell 2000, we're on a bit of an uptrend. We're going to be watching to see if 224 holds. If it does, we could attempt to push up for 228. If it doesn't, we could be dipping back down towards 222. So I'll be watching these levels carefully. I'm hoping we hold 224 into 222 and we try to bounce. So watch that on the IWM. For coin, we're going to shuffle here. We have a range between 273 and 278. We might just continue to shuffle. There could be a small dip to about 268. Otherwise, we're just range bound. Amazon is dipping to about 225. If that fails us, we're looking for essentially 224. Might be a small dip before it attempts to rebound, so watch that very closely. Meta is on a bit of a downtrend here. We have this resistance at 605. If it can't get back above that, we're at risk of coming down to about 598 to eventually 594. So watch that very closely. Might be a small dip. Microsoft could also dip right here. It's about 434. We'll have to see if we get some kind of bounce or not. And Google might also retest 195. If that fails us, we could be dipping closer to about 193.5. And we'll see if we get a bounce off that. Be careful with Google, as we have a left shoulder head and then a right shoulder right over here. So we'll just have to see how it goes. With the possible head and shoulders, this could lead to a dip. So just be a little bit careful. Expect 195.64. If it does not hold, we're looking for a bigger dip to like the 194 area. So just be careful. When that being said, as far as Tesla goes, there could be a small dip, guys. Completely normal. Expect 448 or very close to that range. If that does not hold, we could be dipping to the mid 440s. But keep in mind, this could still be a cup and handle. There's always that possibility that this could dip a little bit, then eventually get rebought, especially as we approach next week. And we're going to get very close to deliveries. So there might be a lot of anticipation that's very positive. So we'll have to see what that leads to. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you guys very soon on the next one in just about a couple of hours from now. Thank you and peace out.